as soon as they start dating somebody, they just are not your friend anymore. They just disappear into the relationship. So I had this friend Pete, okay? Pete Carboni, he gets like that. When Pete Carboni has a girlfriend, he's a no-call returning motherfucker. Like, you can just call him 20 times, you won't get anything back. So he was dating this girl once named Kelly, and we didn't talk for like a year. It was like, at some point you're like, all right, I'll fucking hang out when you break up. See you in 8 months. You just know at some point, that's their pattern. So Pete called me one day, and he goes, hey, Ari, listen, I broke up with Kelly. I was like, fuck yeah, man, congratulations. And he goes, listen, he owned up to it. He goes, I've been a bad friend. I've been distant, and I'm sorry, and I want to make it up to you. So I got some mushrooms, and I think we should do these mushrooms to rekindle our friendship. And I was like, dude, Pete, you don't have to do that, man. I'm just happy to have you back in my life. Like, just to have you around again is good enough. But I will be there in 4 minutes. Because let's do these mushrooms. I never done them before. Have you guys ever done mushrooms before? By a round of applause? Okay, cool. A few of you have. At the time, I had never done them, so I was worried. We didn't know like how long it would take to kick in, none of this stuff. So we asked our drug dealer, which is what you're supposed to do. Always ask your drug dealer for advice. They have a vested interest in keeping you safe. They want you to come back. And our drug dealer said it would take 30 minutes to kick in. So we're like, perfect. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take these mushrooms, we're gonna go to the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where there's no cars. We're gonna walk around and have a great time. And so we took him, we drove to 3rd Street Promenade, like a 5-minute drive from his house. And maybe 3 minutes on the way, this car passed us. Just some other car on like a 2-lane street passed us. And we laughed so hard at that. We were just like, dude, the fuck? He was over there. And then it passed us. And at some point, one of us was like, wait, this doesn't seem that funny. And we're like, yeah, it's not that. Oh, we're on mushrooms. We're tripping out right now. They've kicked in way too early. Why didn't you trust our drug dealer? So we're like, we got to park immediately. So we were driving to a free parking lot, but right then we were passing by a $5 parking lot. And he was like, we should pull over here. And I was like, yes, we should. But even on mushrooms, my Judaism does not leave me. And free, exactly, is always less money than some money. So we thought, better to be safe than sorry. Let's go to this free parking lot. We got maybe 2 blocks of the 6 blocks we had left. And I looked over, we were in traffic, and I looked over, I saw a tree in the sidewalk on the other side of the street. I looked at it, and I thought, man, that tree needs some friends. And if he was born in the forest, he'd have tons of friends. But he wasn't. He was born in the fucking sidewalk. And he's got nobody. And I turned to Pete. I'm like, hey, man, you thinking what I'm thinking? And he was like, wait, what? No. There's like a billion thoughts you could have. I'm definitely not thinking what you're thinking. The odds of that are just, it's crazy. It's mind-blowing. And he goes, for instance, I'm thinking we should go hug that tree. I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's the exact thing. So he goes, okay, but let's not get out here, because if we get out in the middle of the street, it'll be weird that we're just abandoning our car in the middle lane. So like, all right, cool, let's go to the free parking lot. So we went to the free parking lot, forgot about the tree instantly. And as we were leaving, I took my phone. I was like, should I have this with me? I had this thought. I didn't know what mushrooms were. I had this thought that if anybody texted me, like the wrong person, I was gonna freak out. Like if my mom texted me, like, and just fucking chucked my phone. So I just left it in the car. I didn't want to deal with it. That doesn't happen. You should leave your phone in the car, but that's not what happens. So we got out, went to the 3rd Street Promenade. Now, the 3rd Street Promenade, if you haven't been there, is full of families. You feel like a real degenerate. You're like, I'm on mushrooms, and that's a 4-year-old. So we both felt kind of weird, like, let's get out of here. Let's just go see a movie. So we sat down, we got a bunch of popcorn, sat down in this movie theater, and we're like, this is going to be awesome. Then the Bruno trailer came on. And man, we laughed so hard. People are worried about mushrooms, but you just laugh. You'll laugh. And we laughed so fucking hard at the first half of that preview. And then Pete Carboni, he just starts like rustling with his jacket. He has his jacket on, he just starts rustling with it like this over and over again. And I'm over here looking at him, and I'm like, I don't want to say anything, but he's been doing that for a while. And then all of a sudden, he just stands up, and he just walks out. And I was like, fuck yeah, Pete's feeling it. So I enjoyed the rest of the preview myself. It was amazing. Movie started, Pete didn't come back. And I was like, where the fuck is he? I thought he went to the bathroom or something. And I was like, I should go check for him, but like, I don't want to miss this movie. It's pretty amazing already. And to tell you what happened to Pete Carboni, ladies and gentlemen, his side of the story. Mr. Pete Carboni, everybody. Let him hear it.
So it was about halfway through the trailer to the movie Bruno that I started to feel sadder than I've ever felt in my life before. I think what was going through my mind is I was laughing at the trailer, I found it really funny, and I was like, yeah, this guy Sacha Baron Cohen is a really funny dude. He's doing really well in his career, you know? And then I started to think of my own career as a comedian, and I started to get a little bit sad. And that thought just spiraled me and propelled me out of that room. I had that feeling that you have, like, right before you're about to cry hysterically. I mean, am I right, fellas? Yeah? And I was in a dark place in my life. I'd just gotten out of this on again, off again, embattled relationship with this girl, Kelly. And Kelly would use the off again portion of our relationship to have sex with some of my friends. Yes. And this would often inspire me to take her back again, you know, to stop that from happening. Which would make us more embattled, you know, which would make me break up with her. The whole thing, it's what an economist might call a vicious cycle. So I gotta get out of here. I'm just not in a good place. So I jump into a cab, and I say, 551 Sawtell. And the guy must have misheard me, so he turned around and he was like, which hotel? And normally, I think I would be able to resolve this misunderstanding. But in the condition I was in, all I could think to do was I pointed in the direction of my apartment, and I just was like, go!
So I thought I should go out and see if Pete Carboni is in the lobby. And I also had this other problem where I became positive that I had peed my pants. And it's dark in a movie theater, so I couldn't see, so I was just kind of like trying to feel for it. It was like this in the fucking beginning of Public Enemies. Looking at other people like, no, it's not what you think. Like, they'll never understand. I just pissed myself, but I wanted to check. It's not what you think. It's nothing bad. And I couldn't feel any liquid. I'm like, all right, maybe I didn't pee myself. And I was like, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll go outside in the light, and I'll see if I have a pee stain. And that's how I'll know. And I'll also find Carboni when he's out there.
Please, just go! And so the guy just starts driving in that direction. And then we got to a stop sign. And it's a weird thing. When you're on mushrooms, it messes with your sense of time, you know? So it felt like I was at this stop sign for like a year. It felt awful. And so I couldn't help myself, and I just start going, go, please! Please go, just go! And then the guy would drive faster, and then he'd get to the next stoplight sooner, and then I'd yell, go again. I mean, this is another vicious cycle I've found myself in. So I got out of the cab, I told him to stop, got out, and I gave him $100, and then I turned and I just started running. And I was running down Bundy Avenue, which, if you don't know, is basically a 4-lane highway. And it's probably too big of a street to be running down, dressed like this, as fast as you can while you're crying hysterically.
So I went outside, I looked, I didn't see him right away. I was like, oh, let me check that pee stain. And I didn't see a stain. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Maybe I didn't pee myself at all. But then I was like, wait, what if I peed so much that the entire thing is just one big pee stain?
As I'm running, I notice ahead of me a hole like in a fence. And so my instinct is just to go through this hole in the fence. So I just jump, I sort of slide through, and I wind up in like this suburban backyard. And there's some dude who's like reading a paper on his back porch as I come in my sad state. And I was like, I'm gonna try the honesty approach. I walk up to the guy, I'm like, excuse me, sir, I'm very sorry. but I'm feeling very sick. Do you think that maybe you could drive me home? And shockingly, this guy says yes.
And so I'm out in the lobby of the Lowe's, just going like this, trying to fucking smell.
And we got in his car, and he starts driving, but then he gets to a stop sign. And I'm just out of control. I'm like, man, just go!
Like, I don't smell anything, I don't know. And then every once in a while, I'm like, Carboni!
Go!
Carboni! Pete!
Please, just go!
I was like, all right, I should go find him. I don't know where Pete is, but I should go find him. But then I was like, oh, what if he comes back here? Let's just make the movie home base. That'll be the home base. So I watched the movie every 30 minutes. I'm like, where the fuck is Pete? Where's Pete?
Until finally I felt so bad. I felt like this degenerate. I'm doing mushrooms on a Monday morning. I jump out of his car and I throw $200 at him. And he says to me, he's like, man, I just drove you like 5 blocks. It's really, and I was like, just take it! And then I just started running. And I ran all the way home. And when I got home, I started to feel a little bit lonely. And I started to rethink things with Kelly, It's like, yeah, she slept with a few of my friends. Okay. Maybe I can just take that as she finds my friends really charming and attractive. In a way that's like a compliment.
At the end of the movie, everybody stood up, started to leave. I saw this kid, this 18-year-old kid, and he was with his grandparents, and they stood up and they were discussing the movie they just saw. And it was so beautiful.
So I called her, and I asked her to come over.
I was overcome with emotion. I was like, this kid is still spending time with his grandparents. It's so fucking wonderful.
When she got there, I begged her to take me back. And she did.
I was almost like getting choked up, and I was like, my grandparents are all gone. I'll never get a chance to see Public Enemies with them.
And then I kissed her so passionately, as so many of my friends had done before me.
But anyway, pick up the phone and called Pete.
And then my phone rang. And it was Ari. I was like, oh, yeah. That's right. Like, we were supposed to be doing mushrooms today to rekindle our friendship because I've been such a bad friend. Oh, no. But I pick up the phone, and it's Ari. And Ari, do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I was worried about you. So I was like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah. And I thought he was going to attack me, which would have been the right thing to do. And then I was like, I don't know how to tell him this. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm here with Kelly.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You were like, I'm here with Kelly. We got back together. But I was like, all right, well, at least you're all right.
Yeah, he was a good sport about it. And then not only that, then he says to me, he's like, hey, man, I just want to let you know that I love you.
I did. I was really concerned with you.
Yeah, and I
You're a
was
good
like
friend of mine.
overwhelmed with I was like, that was so nice of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been that way.
Let me ask you a question.
What's that?
Why did you have $300 on you?
I figured that I was doing something sort of adventurous that like I should probably bring emergency funds,
No, it's
just to be safe.
It's a mushroom trip. You don't need
Yeah,
emergency
but you never
funds.
know.
You don't need emergency funds for a mushroom trip.
Yeah, but didn't I need them?